Episode 75. So if it works, it works. If not, we lost another one.
Another one.
Gosh,
We have a couple episodes.
Didn't we just have a diamond episode? Wasn't 75 something else? Didn't we just have that?
No,
I think so. 70.
Oh wow, what just happened?
I hear you.
Kale
That was
Miller,
good.
yeah, you're loud.
Oh.
That's good.
That's
You
good.
sound
That's
great.
what it usually sounds like, but now we all sound echoey.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, you sound normal.
You sound like a normal person.
I feel like I'm in an
That's
echo
annoying.
chamber.
You sound like a
call
normal
Dre.
person.
Just
Let's
make
just
sure.
double check. Hold on. Don't start. Oh, yeah, I mean, episode 74 was the last one.
Nice.
But one of them didn't work that you guys did.
Yeah, it was an all dudes
all
one.
So
dudes
it's
one.
75.
It's a good one, too.
It was pretty good.
Yep, so episode 75, RP Strength, trifecta. RP Strength now has the scanner on the app, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, wow.
Have you used it at all?
Yeah, a little bit.
I haven't
Not
used
as much
it
as
yet.
I should. It is off-season.
How's the app? It looked really cool
it's
when you
pretty
talked
cool.
about
Yeah,
it.
it's really cool, actually. I just haven't used it. Like I said, it's off-season, so I need to, next couple weeks, I'm going to start dialing it back in.
We started a little bit late because you have a poopy diaper. Is that what you said?
I didn't have a poopy diaper.
You said I had a poopy
my
diaper.
My son had a poopy diaper, but yeah.
I thought maybe you. And
I
then
did
I was like,
have a
well,
poopy diaper. Sometimes I just put diapers on so I don't have to go to the bathroom, you know?
I was gonna
Get busy
I don't know,
working
maybe
out.
we shouldn't start the podcast with "Have you ever like crapped your pants before?"
No.
But when you said
No.
that, it made me think of it.
Yeah.
I have.
Have you?
What?
Oh yeah.
Like post diapers?
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
Going
As an
there.
adult, as a grown person.
Like a fart that snuck out?
No, like I was sick and
Well, you were
you're
sick.
in Kroger and
And you just, how old were you?
You let it go,
in my
huh?
30s.
Well, didn't you have a story about James?
Oh, yeah. James pooped his pants in the back of the truck one time.
Oh,
he
man.
farted and was like...
I'm sorry, I didn't
So-
mean to take the podcast there, but
And he had white compression
Already
shorts on. He was
Yeah.
like, I gotta go to the bathroom. Oh, we gotta go now. And we had to pull over right then. And sure enough, he sharted his pants.
that's 100% one of the worst things ever because you kind of you're sick, you got the flu, you're racing to get to
See,
the
that's
car.
different. If you're sick, like, that's acceptable. You know, because
Yeah,
when,
there's
when
nothing I can
diarrhea
do about
hits
it.
you, it's like, it's there.
Yeah, but then you got to drive all the way home in it.
Usually you're just not leaving the house if you're that ill. Like, I just don't.
I'll tell you,
I don't
The
remember.
last time I was like, I'm sick. I'm like, I'm going to risk it. No, I don't. Did you really need something from Kroger?
I don't know.
Were you hungry?
I'll tell you, as soon as I have coffee, like, I'll go to the bathroom as soon as I wake up.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
I make my coffee, and it's about a 20-minute process.
Yeah.
As soon as I drink my coffee, I'm like, oh, gotta go.
Have you seen China's meme about that?
Oh, yeah, the little gopher-looking thing. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
That's what it makes me think of. There's a little meme, and it looks like a gopher. It looks like a
It's like a Pokemon.
like an otter / gopher, and its eyes are this big, and it says what? How you?
It says when you have your morning coffee, this something about
Something
Yeah,
about poop
this is
in
your
your morning
poop when
coffee.
you're after your morning
Oh.
coffee or something like that, and it's pretty true.
I got all my stuff. I mean, I got the Chemex. I got the whole deal. I just
grinder,
got
everything?
I got to pay attention to it and try it.
I'll send you the calculations. It's just trial by error. But
I got to order up some Good Dudes coffee.
Good Dude's coffee. Yep.
The Washington.
Washington's
That's what
my
I'm hearing
favorite.
is the best.
Washington is pretty good. Lincoln, I'll mix that one in every once in a while because it's a little darker. But the lighter, I feel like, has more taste. The darker it gets, everybody tries to say that it's better the darker it is, but I feel like you lose
like
some
the
taste.
lighter?
It gets more like burnt.
What happens if you do the ratio too much or too little? There's something about coffee in here. So
You make it too little, then it's just really lean and kind of watered down. Where
Did you
I don't
look
really
at
think
what
you can
William
make too
said?
strong of coffee.
Yeah, I agree. You
So
can't
then,
make it too strong.
So why don't you just grind more then every time? Or you just
You can.
Oh, well. So you're basically fighting.
They
against
say
too
1 to
too little.
They say 1 to 17 is the correct ratio. I go a little heavier, I guess. So like I bumped it up to what'd I do this morning? 20 ounces. So it's 566 grams. And I do like 47 grams of coffee to that. So that's
Sounds like science.
Did you look at what William sent?
yeah, but you have to pay for the app.
Well, he
I
actually
think
sent me.
This is like 1 to 11, I
Okay.
guess.
Oh, wow.
I need to forward you what he sent me because he sent me actually his own spreadsheet on it, like
On coffee?
It's a little more than 1 to 11. but
mixing
yeah.
and I don't know.
like it. I like it stout though. I don't like
Stout.
weak coffee.
Yeah.
But I tried this morning. I was like, it's a little cold outside. I may try hot coffee. And so I took a couple sips hot, and I was like, I'm icing this thing. And so I use that cold wave thing. That thing's awesome.
You guys switch between, do you always do? No, you do hot and cold, right, Ellie? Depending?
Yeah, depending.
You too, Jim?
Well, I just started. I've always done hot.
Is that black coffee or what is that?
This has almond milk in it. I tried it with some almond milk. It's black with some almond milk.
I always go hot no matter what.
Always?
Even if it's 100 degrees outside.
How come?
Because if I get cold, I'll drink it too fast and have like...
Agreed.
Just like...
I do drink this one fast.
I've been sitting out in front
So
of
it, like,
Poets in
paces
the
you
morning
out.
Yeah.
getting cold coffee, and then I can't recover. I'm freezing.
That too, yeah.
So then I have to go get hot coffee to warm up.
That makes sense.
Trice, man.
Trice Zaster.
There he is.
Saying hey.
Big grin on his face.
Oh, yeah.
Those jeans are so cute.
They're awesome.
What's he got in his pocket, or is that just the pocket turned inside out?
Pocket turned inside out.
Okay.
That's where he keeps his passy.
Yeah, right on.
In his front pocket. I thought he was
What
carrying
kind of
around
shoes is he
goods.
wearing? Are those Reeboks?
Reeboks.
What are those? Yeah.
Nanos.
Oh my gosh,
They
those
look
are
like
so
nanos.
cute too.
That's what I thought.
Kid Nanos.
He's got big
Styling.
feet.
Solid.
Oh my gosh.
The other day when you had him on the tractor,
You've never
lights up,
You've never
man.
seen a kid so happy to be just on a tractor.
Yeah.
He was...
That's his deal.
Like, he loves to ride anything. And his words are usually... It's like one word. Tractor, I want to ride. Or, I want to ride tractor.
He'll probably be the youngest kid ever to drive a tractor.
He's going to see if that door works.
And so as soon as he got on that track, we'll ride the Razor and stuff like that because it's a little easier than to get the tractor out. But yesterday I had to get the tractor out, and just to see him light up, he was like, "Oh man,
So good.
It's real now. Like we're
Well,
riding
he
a
asked-
tractor."
It's pure joy.
Yeah,
Sometimes when you're, in the middle of working out or whatever, he's asking for keys.
keys always
Yeah,
wants
that's what he's
keys.
asking for, the keys. He's
Tractor,
Oh,
I want to
that's
ride.
smart. So he knows that he needs keys for the tractor.
Yep, and he knows he loses keys, don't you, bud?
Yeah. There's
He's
that.
like-
There's that look.
Keep it down. You gotta keep
Aw.
it down, bud.
Hilarious.
Wait, so you just got back from your open announcement. How's the environment this time around?
Oh, it was
being
awesome.
run by-
Austin was, it was great. I mean, Rogue always puts on a
they're
world-class thing. It's just hard to be motivated this time of year
Oh my gosh, it's
to
so I couldn't
compete
imagine.
and do anything, and it was just not a pleasant experience. I told Bill, I said, if anybody else would ask me to do this, I'd have told him now. But since it was Bill gets it. So,
What was your favorite open announcement?
favorite open announcent?
'Cause you've done
None
a
of them.
couple.
I hate them all. I hate
I hate them all.
Understandably so.
There's not one that I'm like, oh, that was a great experience.
Not one, huh?
Well, the whole head-to-head thing changes everything, right? When you're required
that's-
to sort of compete against somebody, and it
And
doesn't
sometimes
really
it's like a new standard thrown in there, and you just gotta
Yeah. And
hope
it's
that
last
you
second.
you figure it out
right.
in 10 minutes or whatever,
That's true too. The
and
curve
not
of
knowing what to warm up for.
Right. It's a surprise.
That and I'm just mentally, individual is not
Yeah, you're done
who
with
I
that.
am anymore. Like, I don't want to do that anymore. So to get psyched up to like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then the workout's announced and you're like, oh yay, 100 burpees. I'm like, no,
This is so fun.
this is not fun. And then I'm an idiot and did burpees in the room the day before, like just because I wanted to do something, but it's just,
You probably did like 5,000.
I did a few, but it's annoying that I just hate that. I'm just like, okay, all right.
I was even trying to figure out like historically over like all the opens. I'm like thinking to myself, what's my favorite open workout I've ever done? And there was nothing that I arrived at initially. Like, is there any open workout that you were like, that was?
I like the redo last year
which
because
one
it wasn't
was it?
like stressful. The Total
Oh
Bar
yeah, I
double
like
under.
that one, but I've never done an open announcement that had anything more than 95 pounds in it.
Oh wow!
How does that make any sense?
Wow.
Didn't you win the one though against Frazier?
No, I won one against. Oh, sorry, I take
With
that back. It was 115.
Okay.
But yeah,
but
Fraser.
didn't you max or
then
something?
yeah, I guess we did a clean and jerk at the end.
But I see
Then
what you're saying.
The thrusters and burpees he killed me at. So I just hate those open. It's just not fun. There's no part of me that's
Yeah.
like, oh, I'd
That makes sense.
want to go head to head against somebody
Yeah.
with thousands of people watching. This is great.
And it doesn't really count for anything.
It doesn't count for anything.
Just all packed into a space too.
And
like-
we're in a warehouse. There's no air moving whatsoever in Texas. It was
I
awesome.
feel like
In Texas.
I feel like they should make it like The Price is Right. Like they should have like a shiny vehicle or something spinning. So like if you win, like you at least like
Yeah, it was
you know,
not. It was
like
not a pleasant
something.
experience.
Not that it has to be like.
Yeah, and like we said, for teams, it means absolutely zero.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're like, why am I doing this?
Why?
And it's October.
Yeah.
Why am I doing this in October?
That's the weird part.
People, I get asked quite a bit, do you think Rich will ever go back and be an individual or...
No, dude.
And it's try to explain to them just the difference in mindset, mentality, effort.
Way different. That's
How different that is. People just don't really grasp
people
that.
can't, they're like, well, you train just as much. And I'm like, train close to as much, probably not as much. There's definitely some days where it's like, the kids are doing something and I'll miss a training session or running around here and there. But it's just mentally, I'm not like, I don't want to do that. No,
it's not
part
your
of
singular
me,
focus anymore. Yeah.
No. And when I was individual, that's all I thought about. And so
Right.
I just, no, no,
No.
leave me alone.
How did it go with Scott being there and the announcement
Good.
that he's
Yeah,
the
it was
new...
great. Yeah, I thought it was good. Scott's a good dude. Came over for, last week and had a good time. I think he's obviously super fit, so it's gonna work out well.
It seems like his demeanor and value system and all that super compatible.
Pretty close. Yeah, pretty close. He's a competitor, which that's what you really want, when it comes down to it. And wants to win, so that's good. That's what we want.
He's not afraid to be stuck with all girls. He went to the coffee shop with us a couple times.
Oh wow! Okay.
We're like, we're going to the coffee shop, and do you want to go? And expect me to be like, no, I'll just stay behind. He's like, sure.
Okay.
That was fun.
Very good.
Just a little outing.
How are you guys going to handle all the training? What's the plan now with two out-of-staters?
Kind of do the same. Like we share workouts on a group chat, group me, kind of share time so people know. And then when China comes out, Scott will try to time his trips when she's out here, and should be fine. Try to do a couple sanctionals, that way we get some competition experience together, and should be good, I think.
He's in Ohio?
Yes.
I'm trying to remember. CrossFit Mentality.
CrossFit
Is that
Mentality.
Right? Did I say that right?
Yep.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah, so it should be good.
Did you see the article on milks in there?
No.
I pulled it
Did you
out to show
say
you the
the
coffee
article
one.
on MILFs? What did you say?
Milk.
Oh,
I actually
milk.
said milks.
I can't hear very well
I
in here.
should have said milk.
Milk.
So it did kind of sound like MILFs.
It did. I was like, Elly, this is PG.
I know. Well, we're
What
sitting
are we
here.
talking about milks? What about milk?
Well, I mean, we're sitting here drinking.
I'm drinking
almond
whole
milk.
milk. Leave me alone. I'm not drinking soy milk. I'm not drinking coconut milk. I'm not drinking almond milk.
Well,
I'm drinking milk from a cow.
It was trying to defend your argument of the whole greenhouse gases and cows thing.
I'm not getting into that because somebody got super offended that I talked about global warming, and I have no business actually
Really?
talking about global warming because I'm not a scientist.
Oh,
However,
so you have to be a scientist to talk about
I
global
guess.
warming?
Well, I'm saying I
guess-
probably shouldn't because I don't. I hate when people talk when they don't know what they're talking about, and so I don't want to be that guy.
I
It also
gotcha.
talks
All
about
right.
water in there. Did you know that Aquafina and Dasani actually use tap water?
I hate Dasani water with a passion.
That's probably
I
because
don't
you
know-
don't like the tap it comes from.
I guess. I don't know. Yeah, both of them have this weird, goofy taste to it, and Dasani is gross. I don't know why.
It's
Dasani
true.
tastes weird to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not drinking that. If I go buy water, I always get Fiji water.
Yeah,
And
Fiji
that's in
water
there
is
too,
delicious.
actually.
It's just
That's-
so
That's
expensive.
the best rated water because it's actually from Fiji, not the tap.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have something to talk about in the near future about water, and we'll have an opinion on it.
I'm kind of interested. I wish
Never mind.
What do you wish?
I just drink tap water.
talking about coffee.
and
Looking
I've
at
survived
coffee.
so far.
What?
It's looking at coffee.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
I am a coffee snob
Yes.
now because I've been drinking coffee for 3 months. So who's not a coffee snob? And but however, like I feel like there's some validity to that because I'm new to it, so I have kind of an open mind. I'm not stuck in, obviously I'm drink Good Dudes coffee because we own part of the company, but
Right.
I like when we were in Austin, I got coffee from 3 different places in the same morning. And so like the first
Okay.
one, I was like, I was just walking
As
around.
trial and error?
I had nothing to do. I was, Scott went to visit, was doing like a sponsored trip or something, and I'm sitting in my room and just by myself. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll go walk and get some coffee. I got some programming done that morning. And so I asked Katie. Katie's like, this place is pretty decent. I went to. So I walked. Didn't have my phone actually either because my phone was dead and I forgot my phone charger. So I went old school and read a map.
That's awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Surprised you found one.
Look at you.
I'm,
Off the grid.
Just call me Magellan. But anyway, and so I try. I go to this place and I'm like, all right, because here's the deal too, is like, there's difference between cold brew and iced coffee. There really is. If you, like, cold brew is brewed kind of like,
It says it in there too.
Yeah.
like a tea almost, well, like a cold tea, like it steeps overnight.
Yep.
Iced coffee, in my thinking, is you make hot coffee and you ice it fast. However, you've got to be careful that the method you use to ice it doesn't water it down, because if you just throw ice to it, it waters it down and makes it garbage.
Okay.
But people look at you like you're an idiot when you're like, I'll take iced coffee. So you want cold brew? No, actually I want iced coffee.
Yeah.
Because I actually don't, I'm not a huge fan of cold brew. But anyway, so I got coffee at this first place. It was okay, but I was like, all right, I don't want to like waste my coffee or my caffeine all on one. If I'm going to try something else. So I get to the hotel and tried theirs. And it's supposed to, like, it's a nicer hotel. It's the Van Zant. So it's like got their own coffee shop, little whatever downstairs. Like, I'll try that. Awful. Terrible. The worst like, it had, I don't know if they used like sparkling water to brew it.
Oh, that's weird.
Or it was weird.
Yeah.
Didn't like that. Well, they end up getting a nitro brew from somewhere else, which a nitro brew is where it's at if you can get it right, man.
Did you ever figure dial in
Have you
your
had nitro
nitro?
brew?
Jet fuel.
So
I don't
good.
drink cold coffee.
Kristin, you're missing out on life.
Oh, yeah.
I would drink it too fast.
You don't eat
That's
meat.
You do.
You don't drink nitro coffee.
I do.
Yeah.
I just slam
Maybe
it.
No
You're
fun
right.
over here.
Maybe just do it before the next open workout, because then at least you'd be all jazzed and ready to.
I have drank
know.
like monsters before open workouts.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
This got
So-
get jacked up.
I guess my I say all that to talk about, I've never really had, other than probably at a coffee shop, had coffee out of a machine.
Oh.
So what machine would actually be the best and more like?
Okay.
So like I do pour over every
right.
morning. I've done
But if you want to do like espresso, right?
Are you talking
Yeah.
about like fancy machines, like the one that actually like you weigh and do that, or you're talking about
well,
like
that's
you put
that's
it?
espresso. I'm
Okay.
talking like if I was to make like, if I wanted to make a cup of coffee, 20 ounces every morning, like what machine?
okay.
I thought it said that.
Because everybody wants to come over and be like, your coffee takes forever for you to make blah,
Jess
blah, blah.
was telling me about something called the Ninja, like the coffee Ninja or something she has at her house.
I don't know.
Grinds the
Ninja
beans up real
specialty.
quick.
Here you go.
That's actually an
Which
interesting
one's ranked the highest?
question.
It should be on the next page. I was looking
Just
at.
like
I
if
thought it
you
was an
want to make
espresso.
just like 20 ounces of coffee, what is the best machine to do it? Because people have like
Hey,
a
Jess.
Keurig or whatever, but that's like,
Jess, what's the name of your coffee machine? Ninja. And you can make 20 ounces like that?
Is it good though? Is it the Ninja Coffee Bar System CF097?
Ooh, you're ranked in Consumer Reports.
It's got a 75 rating.
Oh.
But like,
That's pretty
have you
good.
done pour over before? Can you taste the difference between the two? Is it the same? Oh, a little more thicker. Okay, yeah, because I like strong coffee. I don't like I had my mom made some the other morning, and she just is like, I'm not doing that whole process. So she made it in a coffee maker, and it just tastes like water with coffee sprinkled into it.
that's how my dad makes
Yeah.
coffee too. It's
just like-
so dilute that you're like, I'm not even drinking.
I'm like, this isn't coffee.
Is there a picture of it in there?
No.
Oh, okay.
You're ready to get on Amazon
There
and
is
order
the
it.
Ninja specialty, and it's 80. It got an 80.
I bet if you got going on Amazon, you could like find one, and then they always have like recommends this. And
Well,
then
I'm
that's
going to
what I
I like
try.
the reviews.
I'm going to try the system that you have.
Because my deal is like, it's great if I'm just making one for myself, but if multiple people there,
Right.
then that's what's hard.
Yeah.
And I use that cold wave thing because it doesn't ice down the coffee when I make it. I only have 2 of those now. They actually sent me one.
Oh, really?
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I'm hoping
surprised they
whoever
didn't
hears
send you a
this is
bunch.
going to send some suggestions.
Some coffee stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we need
Let us
some-
know. I mean, Josh is really good at it, but I don't want to bug him all the time. And I don't really know
That
how
stuff
to.
that William gave me was
Yeah.
like way detailed. You know that guy's
yeah, let me-
mind. It's yeah. Part of me, I just want to roll up and grab some coffee and drink it.
Send me that when you get the. Because, I mean, it's like one thing that I've been messing around with
me
lately
find
is not getting the water as hot so it doesn't like
Oh.
burn it as much. Because I like I said, I like to taste the coffee a little bit more. That's why I feel like iced coffee, I can taste it more. Hot, it's like, it's too hot to drink.
But whatever Josh used to do, like it even had an aroma. I remember he like made 2 hot cups one day and he's like, okay, taste this one and taste this one. And one had like accents of blackberry and currant. And the other had like, and you could taste it. It was a
Currant? What is currant?
big, I don't know.
A fruit.
Is it?
Oh, all the bags say, oh, it has accents of caramel and elderberries.
Ooh, elderberry's good for you though.
I made that up.
It is good for you.
But
just
it
sent
all
you-
depends on where it's grown, the soil it's grown in, the temperature, like all kinds of stuff.
I just sent you the
Calculations and
calculations, coffee brewing methods, pour over method with Chemex, and he's got it broken down, man. Jeez.
Wow.
stuff. Holy cow.
That guy's a genius.
I guess next week we'll know.
Oh, he likes the 1 to
why
16
he's the
ratio. Beans
president
last
of a
2
bank.
weeks after roasting. Never grind your beans until you're ready to use it.
That's what you need next is a roaster, your own bean roaster.
I know. Well, we're talking, the Mayhem, the front of Mayhem's going to have a coffee shop, so.
That's awesome.
That's going to be awesome.
Is it Mayhem Coffee Shop? Is that what
No, we haven't decided yet. We
Okay.
actually looked at, obviously everything here's, not everything, but the gym is named after Fight Club, Project Mayhem.
Right.
So in the movie, Brad Pitt has a soap company
Oh.
called Paper Street Soap Company.
Okay.
So we talked about naming it Paper Street Coffee
That's
Company.
awesome.
That's
Okay.
actually really
Just
cool.
to
Because it
Stay
has
with the theme.
nothing to do with anything.
That's
Right.
awesome.
I like it.
But
Yeah.
it's
That's super cool.
it's kind of cool actually, because if you know
Yeah.
the Fight Club thing, that
Yeah,
I was
that's
kinda,
really
at
cool.
first we were trying to figure out names, and we were trying to inspirational stuff or CrossFit stuff, and we were like, let's go completely off the reservation. And
I like it.
I like the parallel.
But it's not on Paper Street, so
Right.
But
So there's that.
because we don't want to just we don't want people to think it's just
Well,
for
I mean,
CrossFitters. It's a coffee
Right.
shop,
Rich
But
Froning Way Coffee Shop.
we're gonna serve Good Dudes coffee, and we've actually been talking to Trevor Bain, who owns that Mahalo Coffee in Knoxville. NASCAR driver, used to be a NASCAR driver, and so he's helping us with some stuff, and so we may brew some of his stuff too.
Cool.
'Cause, yeah, I mean, once he actually roasts his own, and he was showing me like how it works and what they do, and he hooks up his computer, his laptop to this roaster, and like
Oh,
Oh my
geez.
gosh,
there's
that's
like trajectory lines, like it's a graph, and he has to like drop the temperature
That's
because
cool. Jeez.
as soon as it heats, the beans heat so fast that it like heats the whole cauldron, and they have to drop it, and it's
It's cool to see people roasting coffee when you go into a shop and
Well,
they
it
have like
smells
the
good
big
too,
like
yeah.
roasters and
Yeah,
stuff.
this
That's
one's-
really cool because it's a science for sure.
it's crazy. I was blown away. I was like, oh, I thought you just like, hey, let's set this one at 300 degrees for 20 minutes.
It sounds like tuning a car. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's kind of what he was saying. Like, so if you ever grew up watching NASCAR, NASCAR's like something that I'm into, and so I remember going to the track in the last couple of years, and it's gotten so technical that guys will go around, do some laps for practice, and they'll come in and they basically put an iPad through the window, and it shows everywhere that they hit the gas, everywhere that they hit the brake,
Oh
and the
my gosh,
turns
that's
per
cool.
lap. And there's
that's rad.
teammates, and the teammates, they'll have different color lines, so you can see what somebody else is running, what their lap times
Wow.
are. Like, it's crazy the technology that goes into that stuff. But Trevor was like, it reminds me of the telemetry stuff that we used to get.
Oh, wow.
And so the graphs and stuff like it's very interesting science, which
Well, you guys were picking
never-
out colors yesterday for
I was not.
coffee shop. But I saw Hillary in there with.
Hillary and Tiff were
Tiffany.
in there. Yep. Josh.
Okay.
So, yep.
What'd you decide on?
I don't know. Gray and OD green, I think is what they're talking about.
Okay. All right. There you
Sounds like us.
I was going to say, that sounds pretty typical.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should
Yeah.
be pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Should be pretty cool. I'm just ready for it to get going. But yeah, coffee's it's interesting.
It sounds
I
like
can't. What's really weird is that I remember talking about coffee and having you like, nah.
Nah, I'm not doing it.
And now you're like,
No, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
once you get to the real stuff.
They grow up so fast.
So fast. Special little boy. Yeah, it's I like it now. Like, I like the taste. Like, I'm sure there's good, the caffeine helps too, but I just like the taste of coffee now. So
well, you telling me about putting this on ice has really helped me.
yeah,
So
you
I
got to
can do
get
it
that
just
cold
black.
wave thing too. I'm telling you, because what sucks. So like, I went to the airport on when was it? Coming back Friday morning. And I was like, they didn't have any iced coffee on the menu. I was like, you get iced coffee? He's like, yeah, I can do that. And so basically he just takes it straight out of the machine that they're brewing it and then just throws ice to it. So basically it's just half ice or half water and half coffee. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is disgusting.
Have you ever had like a cup of
disgust
Folgers
me.
or whatever, the old school browns?
I've tasted a cup and I'm like, okay, now I know why I would never drink that.
Have you?
Super bitter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just,
I've never had.
it's not really bitter. It just
never?
doesn't have a
No.
taste. It's just like zero taste to it.
It's I mean,
You're not
it's
getting
tough.
any essence of anything in there.
The essence of Folgers.
It's also a different kind of coffee bean, right? Like there's 2 different kinds, and that's like the cheaper one or
Robusta
something.
and Arabica,
Which actually has more caffeine, I think, but less fat or something.
Yeah, there's all kind of, when you get into like how they break it down and the oils and, you know, where they were brewed and all. And I was just reading an article today that climate change is affecting coffee as well.
Oh, wow.
no.
Oh, is it going to disappear?
Damn climate change.
Well, kale is
Jeez.
on the decline in restaurants too.
What
I was
is?
so upset. Kale.
Oh,
The
who
trend
cares?
is leaving.
Who cares about
I
kale?
love kale.
Are you still eating kale?
We just took
Yeah.
it from coffee to kale.
Well,
Like,
I mean, we
just
can
like
keep
that.
going on coffee. I'm available. I'm here to learn.
What are all the things that climate change is affecting? Coffee,
Everything.
kale, the
Life.
ocean,
Cows.
my skin.
We're all gonna die.
We're all going to die.
What are you going to be for Halloween?
What am I going to be for Halloween?
What are you guys going to be for
When
Halloween?
was the last time you did dressed up for Halloween?
Please say last year.
No. It's been a bit. It's been a moment.
When was your last Halloween costume?
Man, I haven't done Halloween in a while now because the kids are like all grown up.
Well, so you should remember your last costume. If it was like your last epic Halloween
The
experience.
greatest Halloween experience I've ever had was, so I have a twin sister. 1 year I dressed up as a bride in
Nice.
a dress with falsies, hair, the whole thing, and makeup. And at the party, nobody knew who I was. But I looked just like my sister, which was really weird.
Okay, that's creepy.
She's got red hair.
What did
We're
she
twins.
dress up as?
I don't
She
remember.
didn't dress up as a dude?
No, but I was super quiet, didn't say anything, and walked around. Nobody had a clue who I was until
Yeah.
the end, and I won the
Nice.
contest or whatever. Took
Nice.
my wig off or whatever. That's been a lot of years ago.
What about you guys? What are you going to be for Halloween, and what was your favorite Halloween costume?
I don't usually dress up for Halloween, but I think the last time I did, I was Buzz Lightyear like 6 years ago
Ooh.
or so.
Okay.
And I showed up, and one of my friends was Buzz Lightyear too.
Did we just
was
become best
amazing.
friends?
It was
Yeah.
amazing.
But I just like got different random things, and I actually had like a I don't know if you guys ever had like the laser tag things when you were
Yes.
little, like the one you put on your chest.
Yeah.
So I just like used that. It was,
It's
yeah.
fun. Wings out.
You do what
But
you gotta
this
do.
year we talked about Tasia, Abe, and I, since we're all roommates, doing some sort of like group costume if we have something
Yeah.
to go to.
Oh, there are lots
And of course we started
triplets,
talking about like, oh, what do we do? And they brought up Harry Potter, and then they're fighting over who gets to be Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Nah, dude.
When's the last time you had a?
I don't even know. Did we do a family one? We did a family one 1 year. I can't remember what it was though. I think it was Batman or something.
Imagine that.
The kids, Lakeland wants to be Ariel from Little Mermaid, so I think Trice is going to be Sebastian,
Oh, that's cute.
and Violet's going to be Flounder. I think.
Okay, good.
that'd be
That's
really,
really
cute.
cute.
Quality.
Yeah, I think that's.
Although Lakeland keeps telling me she wants to be a descendant instead
Yeah,
because she wants the purple hair.
yeah. She likes
Or blue hair.
Descendants right now. That's her
Yeah.
big thing.
What is that?
Descendants is basically the kids of all the Disney villains, and they have a
Oh.
movie. There's like these live movies now.
It really freaked me out when I came up to the barn the other day, and she had that like extension.
She had what is that? Rapunzel hair.
Yeah.
But that was like
It looks real.
she
Yeah.
looked like she was 6 years older than she
I
is.
know. I don't like it.
I was like, no.
That's like when she'll get into. She loves lipstick, and then she somehow snuck into Hillary's. What's this stuff?
Mascara?
Yeah, and put that on, and I was like, no,
Yeah.
no. And she's like, Dad, can I just put a little eyelash on? And I'm like, no.
100%.
I was like,
no.
you can put chaps lipstick on, but you touch the mascara, and I'm breaking it.
Well, what's crazy is when she was little, you know, the
Oh, yeah.
lipstick was everywhere.
Everywhere. Now it's
pretty.
perfect.
She's doing a
pretty
good job
dialed
putting
in.
that on now.
Yeah.
We're
She's been
growing here.
practicing.
Yeah, she's pretty good at it, unfortunately. And she's got some attitude. Watching that Descendants
Yeah, good luck.
crap. She
Good
was
luck
just
holding the tide back.
Yeah, right.
Brittany wanted, when she was little, she wanted to wear high heel shoes. And I would not let her, and I would not let her, and I would not let her. And then I, as a kind of a smart ass joke, I bought her like some little collector shoes,
Yeah.
high heel shoes. And she didn't think that was funny because I came home with some high heel shoes. And then she liked it, and we started a collection. And I don't know, it was some kind of a collecting thing
Oh,
or
okay.
whatever.
Nice.
But that did.
Yeah.
I was smarter.
Yeah.
And I got away with that for about a year.
And then she just.
And then she was like, I want real shoes, Dad. Good luck. Because with your daughter or around your wife, it's going to be all girl. It's going to be.
Yeah.
Wait till she's down at the dress shop trying on stuff,
Jeez.
ordering things in.
Nope. Nope.
Well, speaking of descendants, stuff like that, when you were little, what'd you pretend to be? Like, what were things that you pretended to be?
I always was playing soldier. I was running off in the field with the shotgun.
By yourself?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, me too. We, I don't know if I've ever actually. So we used to do that too. I got a 22 for my, I don't know if it was a birthday or something, or Dad just got it for me, and so we were kind of out hunting, probably illegally, because I didn't have any type of hunter safety course or anything like that, and we didn't see any animals. So, you know those boxes that are on the telephone wires?
Sure.
It's a good target, right?
Yeah.
You see when you hit it. You see when, and so a couple days later, we the cable company shows up. And Dad comes out. He's like, we just happened to be outside that day doing the same thing, but with a pellet gun. And so we walk up, and they're like, "You been shooting this?" And I'm like, "No, not me." And they're like, "Let me see that gun." I'm like, "All right." A pellet gun's not going to go through that. So they try to shoot it a couple times. Like, okay, wasn't you guys?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, wasn't us. I'm sweating inside. I'm like, oh gosh. A couple hours later, Dad, we come back in. Dad goes, "I know you had that 22 the other day." And I said, he goes, "Way to not get caught." He goes, "You didn't lie," because they said, "Did you shoot that with that gun?" He goes, "But you didn't tell the whole truth."
Right.
And I was like, "Am I in trouble?" He's like, "You didn't lie, so no." Yeah, I can't believe we got away with that.
That's crazy.
They did this whole ballistics thing where they're trying to shoot it with the pellet gun, and then my dad gets out his 9mm, and they're like, I think it was somebody shooting it with a 9mm.
So they're,
It's like
testing it
50
out.
yards away from the road. Like, nobody's hitting that with a 9mm, those idiots. Yeah, a bunch of 12-year-old kids with a 22. I
Wow.
can't believe we got away with that. I forgot about that until just now.
I had a Daisy BB gun because I had it like a year before they got theirs.
Right.
Then they got a Crossman,
Oh, yeah.
which was better.
Right.
Could pump it, and more
Crank it up,
power.
yep.
And I'll never forget Christmas time, man, we were maybe 9, 10, something like that. And they unwrapped the gun. We had property out behind our house. They go out back. Nobody thinks anything of it. My brother Ken comes walking in with a dead rabbit. Like, okay, let's cook it.
Yeah.
Went out hunting, brought in a rabbit.
Sounds great.
My mom's like, okay,
Give me the
I
gun.
didn't know you were really going to kill anything with
gun.
that gun.
It's like in Big Daddy where he gives him the slingshot and he walks out and all those pigeons are dead everywhere. It's like, oh, okay, my bad.
Oh, it is like, I feel like soldier's such a common one. I remember, so my brother got into paintball. So he had all his friends over and they were just like split up into teams and whatever. But like they would get on the roof and like patrol and stuff. Well, sure enough, I mean, you guys have been to my parents' house. We have a drive-by. All of a sudden, there is lights, police lights, one after the other, zooming straight towards our house. They thought our house was being taken over by people in camo and guns.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
So-
it's not the best place to play paintball at your
Yeah, now
house.
that we mentioned
Right.
that's probably not legal at all.
No.
Well, what did you play? What was your...
I just tried to do whatever my brother was doing, and he wouldn't let me, so I just run around and try to sabotage whatever he was doing after that.
Okay.
Sounds like your life.
No wonder your brother beat the crap out of you.
Okay, speaking of beating the crap out of, this is total tangent. Have you ever been so excited about getting the snacks out of the cabinet you slam your face? This thing in the center of my head that's covered up right now, I slammed my face into the cabinet corner so hard yesterday, it almost brought me to my knees.
How many glasses of wine?
Like you opened it like into your
Yeah, that's
head?
never happened to me before.
Yes, and it was
No,
not
but I had-
alcohol related.
I was sitting on the ground in our living room and we don't have any furniture, so that's why I was sitting there. And Abe said something hilarious. And so I was like, ah, and I go to like fall back, slam my head right on the corner of the coffee table that we have.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh, I was like, my head is for sure split open. It wasn't. It was
well,
fine.
At least you don't have like a horn on your head.
Yeah, it was.
I wasn't going
it
to
was
say anything.
painful.
But
It's not a pimple. It's where I slammed my face into the cabinet.
Yeah.
But speaking of,
Ouch.
okay,
it
not
said hello
wine
to me
related,
earlier.
but kind of. This past weekend, staying at an Airbnb with a couple different couples,
okay.
and
You went to Alabama to track days.
So I get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. And mind you, have you ever been in an old house that like opening a door is so loud it's frightening? Like the things are so rickety. It's like,
That's my current bedroom door, yes,
Okay.
and the bathroom door.
So first things first, I get up and I open the bathroom door and it's so loud it startles me. So then, whatever, I'm leaving and I don't want to turn the lights on because there's people sleeping on the couch. Like I don't want to wake anyone up. So I turn and I open the door and I look in this room and I'm like, this is not what my room looks like.
You went in the wrong room.
Oops.
And then I see a head turn and I'm like, I'm lost. So I get so startled. I slam that door. And so the bathroom was here and then there's 2 doors separated by another wall. So I get so startled that I slam into the corner of the wall and I'm like, you have got
This is
to
the
be
middle of the
kidding
night?
me. Yes.
How drunk were you?
Not.
I don't believe it.
How hungover were you?
No, I wasn't. I was just disoriented.
Okay.
But anyway.
I've told the story about just peeing in the floor, right?
Yeah.
On this podcast, yeah. Bathrooms in the hotels throw me off.
Yeah, that's funny.
What'd you do again?
I just thought I was peeing in the toilet.
Because you don't turn the light on, right? Yeah.
No, because I don't want to wake myself up.
Yeah. And then you can't see anything
I
when you
couldn't see it.
walk
I'm like,
out.
usually
Yeah.
I'll find the toilet with my shins and then just start pissing. And I thought I found it, but I didn't. I just started peeing in the floor. And I was like, oh, man. Still didn't turn the light on.
No, you don't want to see it.
No,
Yeah.
I
Go
just
to
took the
bed.
towel off of that was
say-
hanging, just threw it on the floor. Because I didn't like keep peeing. Like once I'm
Right.
I'm not an animal.
That's surprising. I was going to ask how you problem solved,
Did
but
take
there
me
it
a
is.
second to find the toilet, but I found it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
Yes.
I don't want to wake myself up. I hate more than anything having to get up and pee in the middle of the
I
night.
do
'Cause
too.
you're like,
Yeah.
don't get up. But if you don't get up, you don't fall back asleep.
No, it's terrible.
And it's really hard with kids, especially if it's at like 6:30 or 7, like
Yeah.
right about, like got another hour to sleep probably. But sure enough, this morning I walk out and I see Violet's head pop up. Dada? I'm like, no.
I tried. Oh.
Yeah. So that's the worst. Peeing's the worst.
Well, speaking of physical challenges, what's the hardest thing physically you've ever done?
Hardest thing physically. There's been a lot of
Yeah.
hard physical things.
Like?
I think I told you guys the story about climbing the Diamond Face on Longs Peak in Colorado. We went up without climbing equipment
Oh, dear.
because we were idiots.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's scary.
that
is
was
scary.
that was super nuts.
I don't know if I've heard
Actually, it wasn't the Diamond Face. It was called the Cable Route. And that was, you screw up, you die. Recently, one of the hardest things I've done is the road bike stuff with you guys. The backside of Pfeiffer Mountain, until you're training for that little bit, that will steal your soul.
That does suck.
The first time I ever did that loop, I was, when you're like in that dark place and you're saying to yourself, like, questioning, why did I do this? I just kept saying to myself, you have got to be kidding me. I can't believe you made us do this. It was so
That's
much time under
legitimate.
tension, but then it was really gratifying,
legitimate.
obviously. But that's not what about you, Cam? Sorry.
I don't know. There's been a lot of things I feel like I shouldn't say some of them because it would be embarrassing.
Well, go ahead and embarrass yourself. We don't care. That's what you're here for.
We're all in.
What good are you?
No, it's fine.
I mean, anytime the games, any of that stuff. It's too many of those to list. I'll tell you, when we were elk hunting, what was it, day 4 last year? So basically where we were at on these mountains. So you get to a point, and the guide, he's like, man, we're probably better off to go all the way down and then have somebody pick us up and take us back to the top. And I'm like, I'd rather go up. Like, I don't want to go down. It hurts my knees. It's just, you're basically controlled falling. And he was like, I still think we should go down. I'm like, all right, let's go down. So we start going down. Well, what happens is once you get probably 30 or 40 yards from the bottom, maybe a little higher, it drops off. Not like cliff face, but it's super steep and like super thick vegetation because, all the water will kind of pool there. And well, so we get to that point and we would try to scale the side of this hill. Well, then we'd get too thick, so we'd have to go down. Then we'd come back up. We'd go over, we'd go down, we'd come back up, we'd go over, we'd go down, we'd come back up, and it took probably 3 or 4 hours.
Just like stuff everywhere. They're like sifting
Just
through
like-
and like
like thorns
and stuff.
briars.
Yeah.
I've got a gun on my back
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
like get through this stuff, and it's 70, 75 degrees. It was not good hunting weather. And by the time we get out of it, he's like, that's the most miserable thing I've ever done, let alone with a client. And he's like,
Wow.
he's like,
That's awesome.
I wouldn't have blamed you for putting a bullet in the back of my head. He goes, because I might have done it to you. It was awful. It was, and like day 4, where you're kind of like, it's like this hump. Like we haven't seen anything, we haven't heard anything. I mean, we've heard some stuff, but just it was. And so you're like, why the hell am I even doing this? And then where are we going? Like I was pissed.
Where are we
But
going?
that was actually like, mentally, I guess not physically, one of the hardest things I've done, but mentally it was there.
Well, that's why I feel like you differentiate it from like CrossFit activities, because like CrossFit, like it's going to end. Like, and not that like, I mean, because I think mine, I knew they were going to end, but I didn't know. Well, kind of. One would be like there was a half Ironman I did that I did nutritionally do it right, so I started like getting really woozy like 4 miles into the run, and I was like, I still have 9 miles of running. And like, it was by the point, like with 1 mile to go, I had the medic was walking next to me. Cause I was like, but it wasn't like, you got to finish. Like you made it that far. Like even if you have to walk, and it was like, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna make this. But I also did that in an adventure race where it ended with a mountain bike ride, on the sand, but we didn't hit the tides right. So it was soft sand. So we ended up having to walk our bikes in soft sand 12 miles. 12 miles. This adventure race took 12 hours. And literally a couple miles in, like, we have no more water. It's not a triathlon, so they don't have aid stations.
Heads are falling off.
Our heads were falling off. And we're like, just going to die here on the beach.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
it was
gross.
terrible.
What do you guys think about this whole 50-mile, 100-mile, 240-mile thing, races that people are doing?
Yeah,
Good
kind
for
of-
you.
That's
Man,
awesome.
that's just crazy to
That's
me.
super cool.
Yeah, I'm out on that.
It fascinates me because, like, I've run my whole life, and I would like to think that if I wanted to complete 50 miles slowly, because I've kind of been studying this a little bit, like at a walk, jog pace, that it wouldn't be an issue, that my body would physically hold up.
Right.
But the other day I was like, hey, I'm going to go for a long run. I just want to like see how far I can get, whatever. How tight my muscles got as quickly as they got, I was like, see, I don't know. I think anatomically some people are designed to be able to do that amount of mileage. I don't think everyone can do it.
Right.
Not for me.
Yeah. You could do it.
My knees would explode.
Your knees would hurt, but you could do it.
Well, you definitely I don't know if it's advantageous to have so much like
I think it would
extra.
be
You
me,
want to
it
be
would-
a runner more, right?
For
Right.
me,
I
it
don't
would
know.
be a shuffle, I think.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
mostly running
it's
or
not
whatever.
just a mental thing either. And I know David Goggins or someone else will be like, it is, but it's physically like
Right.
you have to have the right joints, tendons,
For
things
sure.
that can handle it.
Zeb was just in town, a friend of ours, and he showed me a picture of a buddy of his who did a 100-mile race, and he finished, but his foot and his ankle was swollen like a grapefruit, like he just barely survived, kind of a thing. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't think even in my best days I could have ever done something like that.
The really fascinating part about it too
I think
is
I could
the
swim
recovery.
and bike it, but that run, I'm just like mentally, I'm like, nah.
What would make you miserable about it is the fact of like, again, I haven't trained that in a long time, so it could be different. Maybe I
Every
didn't train it the
step
right
that
way.
my meniscus felt like it was stabbing up into my hip.
But it's the following 2 weeks after. Like your joints,
Yeah.
even if you have perfect joints and no problem, your body is so torn apart. You're not the same for a couple weeks. That's the same
Right.
after an Ironman or something else. So it's like, is it worth the lack of fitness you'll have
Nope.
afterwards? Because you can't, like, you physically, like, you can't. You got to heal.
Yep,
You
I'm
know?
out. Bridges is supposed to be doing that seven Ironmans and 7 continents in 7 days with
What?
Iron
What?
Cowboy.
He
He's
is?
like training for it, but I mean, Josh just had reconstructive knee
I was going to say,
surgery.
is his knee back where he
yeah.
can do that?
I mean, if anybody could do it, I mean, Josh is a great endurance guy for, not having that body type.
So I hope he works and finds the right stuff for his knees and stuff beforehand. If he works with a movement specialist before he goes, I think that would be beneficial for him.
I feel like my knees would just be like, nah, dude,
Poof.
we're done. We're done here.
Yeah, why try?
Eh.
Yeah.
What's the most selfless thing you've ever witnessed? What a question, right?
Selfless thing. Wow.
I heard that the other day. Oprah asked Malcolm Gladwell that question, and I was like, wow, that's a hard question. Like, that's a really tough question.
I've been around with firefighters and police officers who've done a lot of selfless things. I've been around that and seen that, which is super cool.
In that profession, for sure.
Yeah, those are things that come to my mind.
Military.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, really dove deep on that one.
Parents.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an
parents
easy
are
go-to.
usually selfless.
Well, I think
a
it's
lot of
one of the
parents.
coolest things about Mayhem and Mayhem family, and I don't say this in a to be cool thing. That's not what I mean, but it's a part of what we're trying to do for people. Yeah. And there were some things last week that we were trying to work out just because we're supposed to, because we care about people and we want to see them. I don't really want to be around people who don't think that way. I haven't always been that person either. I haven't always got that right in my life, and it's important.
Yeah, for sure.
Sheesh. I was listening to this, Cam, you might appreciate this. There's this guru guy that I've been listening to. He likes meditation, all this stuff. I haven't done that part of it. I just
meditation.
I just think he
Yeah, let's
sounds
dive
wise.
into that.
I just saw Kristen's ears perk up inside the headphones.
No.
Did somebody say meditation?
I'm just whatever. We'll throw her under the bus right here. She didn't want to talk about it, so
Do you want to talk about it?
no.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Don't talk about it.
Anyway, so this guy asked the question. He was just like talking, whatever.
This
Anyway.
meditation guru.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know how to pronounce his name. Sadhguru. It's Sad H Guru. Is his name. But he said
his name's actually Guru?
I don't know if he named him that. Do they all name that? No, I don't know. Anyway,
Do they all? Kristin Miller Guru.
I know Krista Guru.
Would you like that for a nickname, Guru?
Oh, yeah.
What's up, Guru?
I love nicknames. You know that.
I'm
Yes,
going to
you
call
do.
you the
You love our
meditation
nicknames.
guru.
Okay, she's not going to go into it, but I picked her up from the airport, and I just have to say, the conversation we had when she got in my car, my mind was like, oh my gosh, everyone needs to go on a trip like this.
Did you solve
That was very
I don't
cool.
think everyone needs to.
But it was cool.
I don't think everyone can do it.
I was going to say maybe 0.1% of the population could actually do it.
Well, I'm out on the vegetarian diet, so
Yeah,
Or
and
the
only
whole-
getting 2 meals.
yeah.
No, you could do
And
that part
no
because you
working
have
out.
a
No
window.
working out.
Oh,
None.
that's the only thing that I wouldn't be able to. I'd end up screaming on the little chair.
Yeah.
So what did this guru
Oh,
say?
sorry. He was saying,
Took the guru forever to get around to
I
saying
know.
something.
Yeah. Dang, sorry.
Well, he was too busy meditating.
Oh.
he probably was.
Did he actually say anything?
No, he was really quiet.
Or did he just put it in your head?
Yeah.
Who knows? That's a great question. Okay. If you got everything you wanted, could you handle it?
Oh, heck no.
Right? Like
Everything I wanted, I'd have destroyed my life a long time ago.
No,
I think I can handle it.
I wasn't.
Try me.
She said guru, not genie.
Oh,
Well, and I see,
3 wishes.
but I think there's so many different layers to that, though, because
Yeah,
he's
for sure.
asking, like, if you could, like, everyone's usually striving for something or wanting other things to happen in their life that don't.
This goes back to your question of if you could have anything,
Right. I
like,
mean,
or what was it? If you could have
Endless amounts of anything. Right?
endless amounts of anything, what would it be?
Oh my gosh! And everyone
Money.
says money.
we have to define
Money.
terms. We have to define terms, sir. This is a conversation that's tough to have. But there are lots of things that I've wanted over time that for sure were wrong and would have destroyed
Oh
me.
yeah.
So,
Well, when you get all that and you're just going to want something else, you're not going to be content. So
Unless you have everything
no,
whenever you want it.
I guess so.
I mean, he was just like,
Yeah. I don't know.
mean,
yeah. Is that that's it? Okay.
No, yeah, it's not good. Can't be good.
he was
No.
relating it to happiness and unhappiness. He's saying if you're unhappy right now, it's because life isn't happening the way you specifically want it to happen. He's saying you're happy if life is happening how you specifically are thinking it to happen. Does that make sense?
nope.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one's here to hear it, does it make a
It
sound?
doesn't. I read somewhere, but I don't know why.
I actually was out at the house the other day and I heard a tree fall in the woods. No joke. And I was like, it does make a sound, but I was there, so technically, it was a huge tree too. I don't know what happened, but I was like, whoa. All I can think about is that old Geico commercial where the tree falls and it's like, help!
I don't remember that one.
I don't know why.
I love the Geico commercials.
Geico's commercials are great. They're always funny.
Oh my gosh.
Have you seen the Casper one? Where it's like something about, something about your house being haunted. And then it's like haunted by Casper, the friendly ghost.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, you guys watching a movie? Can I watch? I'm going to get some popcorn. You guys want some popcorn? And it's just
awesome.
like annoying more than anything. It was pretty funny.
Did you see the one with the soccer player celebration? Literally.
Where it just keeps sliding
Oh my
for
gosh.
days.
My
That's
dad,
really
every time I'm home, he's like, I got to show you the funniest thing I've ever seen. Can I show you this video? It's the funniest thing. I've seen it 100 times. I'm like, Dad, I've seen it. The Geico commercial?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. So I combated that with the can I get a hot tub? So now every
that's a
time,
good one. That's
can
a
I
good
get a hot tub? The State Farm. Is it State Farm? It's one of them.
It's been a while.
Well, shoot. Whoever it was, it wasn't as good at marketing as Geico.
Yeah, I know.
Good.
Geico's great.
hitting it out of the park. I like that, and I like the Mayhem ones.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Progressive maybe, or which?
I was like, we got Mayhem
Allstate.
ones.
Allstate.
Allstate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The football ones, usually. Or the one recently has been football.
Where he steers the guy's car back off. He's helping him park the car.
Yeah.
And he steers
he's
it back
more,
off the ledge.
more cars I get in here, the more money I make. And he's
Yeah.
just like piling cars in. And he's got this he's got these flags and he's doing all these maneuvers. And
Or he steals the guy's car.
Yeah, he's
and
like, what?
He's watching it from like his security camera.
the tailgater one's pretty funny too. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
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 They're all
like
pretty
those.
good. I don't like Progressive. Flow gets on my nerves.
Flow.
They've backed off of Flow lately, which is good.
Oh yeah.
Her annual salary is like pretty high up there, though. I looked it up one time, and it was way more
Can you
than
imagine
you would
that gig? That's what she does. Make
Yeah.
great money.
Talk about going to that
Progressive
audition
commercials or whatever
hit the
it is.
jackpot, literally.
Who else has a gig like that?
I was reading reading an article about the kid who sung "I Just Can't Wait to Be King" in Lion King, the first one, and it was saying that the mom, like they offered him $200,000 or whatever, and that's in the '90s, so it's a lot of money, still a lot of money to sing a song.
Yeah.
And the mom said, "No, we want royalties." I don't know how it worked out, but or what the numbers worked out to, but the guy's still getting paid because they re-released the movie,
Smart.
and so they were just saying how smart it was back then to be like, nah, we'll take $20,000 to do the song right now, and then we'll take royalties. And so the guy's like 41, and he's still making money.
Well, see,
Wow.
Disney's smart about that, because do you remember when I was talking about, was it Robin Williams, the genie in Aladdin? Like, they paid him, again, like it was like a lump sum or something.
Yeah, if he
and
would've
then he
taken
ended
royalties.
up suing them and donating $1 million painting to something or other, because he was like, you guys, come on, like this is
Ridiculous.
this iconic movie.
Kristin told me that they're putting Friends and The Office back into syndication and taking them off Netflix.
Yeah, putting them on NBC's. NBC's going to put them on their app.
Wow.
Can you imagine? That's what's weird about
The
all this
money they've
stuff
made.
now. Like everything's, you're going to have this subscription and this
You're gonna have
subscription,
to
and
have
so
so
it's
many.
like, yeah,
Yeah, it's just annoying.
yeah, to the point where it's like, all right,
You go to look for something to watch, and you're like, it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Well, now what do I watch? I can't decide. Go through,
Same
looking
things
through for
over-
like a half hour,
and
and
then
then
you're
I
like-
haven't found anything. I'm just not going to watch anything.
Right.
And
That's
the
what happens
answer's
to me.
nothing.
I just kind of flip through it and I'm like, finally, just done.
good thing is I just
Just read a book.
I just watch sports and then whatever my kids are watching. So.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, that's gotta be.
Speaking of that, Lions got screwed.
So,
Screwed. That's the worst officiating
ever.
There was 4.
Ever.
There was the 2 illegal hands to the face. There was the
Pass
pass
interference.
interference on Marvin Jones
Yep.
that should have been called, which that's on the Lions for not. I mean, I think it's ridiculous that you can replay that stuff. But
Right.
if you can, why not use it? There was
Right.
that. And then the carry on Johnson. That was a catch.
Yeah,
He
for
tries,
sure.
tries to make a move, goes to one hand, ball goes out, fumbles it out of bounds.
Yep.
Yeah, they got hosed.
And that's absolutely. I've watched a lot of football. I've been
Yeah.
around a lot of football. That's
Awful.
the worst I've ever seen. I actually watched the whole game.
Yeah, I did
stayed
too.
up to watch it, and then
It was a
went to
good
bed.
game.
It was a
Other
great
than
game.
the Lions can't score a touchdown, Prater kicked, 6 field goals, 5
Yeah.
field goals? But
You just
that
can't
was-
have that. You can't have replay and not have the ability to fix something like that,
Yep.
especially those hands to the face.
Why would you do that? Then that would just like expose you to
Well,
That's what I mean. Like, why replay it if you can't do anything about
You
it?
got to figure it out.
You can replay and do something about it, but you can only do something about it on certain things.
Some of it's reviewable, some of it's not reviewable.
Yeah, it's like, all right, if we're reviewing anything, let's review it all. But then it would be so...
It
like,
would.
I get
I
the
get
reason
it.
it's not stoppage. I don't think you should be able to do on pass interference. They're judgment calls.
Right.
But that was frustrating because, I mean...
Changes the whole course of their season.
The whole course, yeah.
Wow.
The penalty last year, the Saints,
Yeah.
you know, with the pass
Yeah.
interference there that cost them the Super Bowl.
Cost
That
them
stuff
Super Bowl.
has to be able to...
Has to be fixed.
has
But,
to be able to be fixed.
yeah, I don't know what the fix
It
is.
frustrates me. That makes me not even want to watch, actually. I get frustrated to the point
that
where I'm
was,
like...
that was the game, like you're saying.
It's hard to objectify stuff like that. I was actually thinking that watching the baseball playoffs I was so impressed by umpires because I didn't realize like
It's
there's
the worst
no
job on the planet.
there is no
Officiating
worse one
anything.
on the like it has to be
Officiating
so
anything.
bad and
Right.
how accurate they are most of the time. And I
Right.
know they get ridiculed for the times they're not. Like the only review they have is like what running to the bases or something.
Yeah, you can't review balls and strikes. You can review catches.
Oh, okay. But see, so the hardest job is not reviewable, but yet the consequences of you doing that job is that everyone sees on the screen exactly if
Right.
you're right
Yeah,
or
that's
wrong. I
nuts.
was like, gosh, that sounds awful.
Yeah,
but
that's-
what an incredible gift if you have the eye and the patience to do that.
Right.
Like, wow.
Yeah, that's
That
crazy.
blows my mind.
That's crazy.
Well, I mean, some people like that, you get death threats. Like I remember a couple of years ago,
Gosh.
one of the Tigers pitchers had a perfect game with 2 outs, 9 innings, 2 outs. Ball gets hit to the first baseman. He goes to cover. Pitcher goes to cover first. Bang, bang, play. Guy was out. Umpire calls him safe.
No.
Ruins a perfect game on the last out.
And it was a perfect game.
And it was a perfect game. It wasn't reviewable at the time. Everybody flipped out on this guy, this umpire. But what was cool was the pitcher came out and was like, we make mistakes. Like,
Right.
it is what it is. I mean,
Wow.
like, that's
Good
the
for
guy
him.
that it affects the most. I mean,
Yeah.
to throw a perfect game and have that taken away is crazy. But
Especially at that point.
yeah,
Oh
9
my-
innings and 2 outs. 9
Yeah.
2/3 innings.
Like, you know, I went to bed the other night and I was frustrated. And then I remembered it's a game. Mm-hmm. They're all millionaires.
Yeah.
I don't really feel sorry for
gonna
them.
be
Honestly.
okay.
It's all good.
Put it in perspective.
Yeah.
Be all right.
just kinda
Then there
back
was
up a little
there was actually another call that was a BS call. They called a targeting on the corner when he was going for the ball.
Yeah.
He's going to intercept the ball. He has
Yeah.
every right to go for the ball.
Yeah.
And his head just happens to be
Yep.
there, and they called a targeting on that, which they didn't eject him, but it was a 15-yard. It was a first down, which would have been fourth down.
Some of the stuff where they're protecting the quarterback, I get, but
Yeah.
then
But then, I mean, I guess
it's
they
not
did
football
have
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. Back in my day
Back in
with
my
leather
day.
helmets,
Yeah.
when it was just a
Leather
sport,
helmets.
we just did what we wanted to do.
hit people with their heads if you want to.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, speaking of handling situations, did you hear about what happened to Silver at the post office?
Yeah, you got a brand new car
man.
hit.
Brand not even making a
Brand
payment,
spanking new car.
and you just were so calm about it.
I did really good. I was that
I mean,
poor-
it's going to get fixed,
it's going to get fixed.
and it's not going to go in the title because there's no real damage to
No,
it. So
I mean,
it's
it'll
fine.
be all right.
Oh, that's good.
The young lady was like so scared.
Aw.
It was the first time anything ever happened to her, and she was just totally in tears, and
Frazzled.
I was just like, "We're okay.
It's going to be all right.
We got this.
In the back of my mind, I was a little pissed.
I
Oh,
imagine.
dang it, we're okay.
Oy, oy, oy.
Just call me Magellan.
Just chilling.
Just chill.
Just chilling.
Chilling like Magellan.
Okay, you want one real question, or are we done?
You got one. You got about 2 minutes, and so it better not be too deep.
Well, I don't know if I
it's
can
a,
make
it's
it
a
2
silver
minutes
question.
after
It
this.
is.
Woo!
You got 2 minutes to answer this question.
Okay.
Are we living to our potential? It's a question people ask themselves.
Are
right? Like, if someone comes to you, I mean, how do you address that or assess that in people? Because you're a mindset coach and you work with people and you're helping them to optimize themselves in their lives. Like, does potential and something like that ever come into question? Or, like, is that a valid question? Is it a question people should ask themselves? Is it something you know, what does that question mean to you? I don't
Yeah,
know.
like in the Mayhem mindset game, it's an important question. And I'm asking someone to measure, I'm asking you to actually define yourself based on a percentage and do it daily. As a man, as a woman, as an athlete, as a student, are you 100% of who you were created to be today or capable of? Are you 50%? I like that idea. I know sometimes some psychologists get upset with this idea of potential, but I don't. I mean, I think I think first you got to know who you are from an identity perspective. That starts with that. And then you have to define success for yourself, and everybody defines it differently. So I think you need to know what that is for your life. What Kristin thinks and what I think are different, and it's not right or wrong, it's just different. So I think you really have to know those things, and then you measure yourself every day. And I like that idea because I want to get up every day and
Aim.
And aim. Yeah. It's a blank slate. I'm going to work hard at it today. There are days when I don't live up to who I am, what I say, what I believe, and I want to ask for forgiveness and fix it and come forward. So,
But yeah, like you're saying, you have to have something to measure that too, or else you can't be like, if you don't have anything, it's hard to say if you're living up to your potential if there's nothing to measure what your potential is.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what's so good about what you do, and the Mayhem Mindset thing is you define that and you have that and you can measure up to that.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's quantifiable in that way versus just being like, oh, today I woke up and I was a good person.
Yeah.
Like I think having, set of values, set
actually
of,
measure.
defining who you are, having those things to measure it up to makes it big.
I think in the culture we get there, we can get lost in the X's and O's or the money or those kinds of things. And we need to be good at that. And there's nothing wrong with any of that. But if that's
What
where we're
defines us,
aiming,
right.
then we can get in trouble. Somebody
Dre.
coming through the window behind me?
Dre.
Oh, Dre.
Well, I was listening to someone the other day that I thought was
We're
had
done.
a great point too.
All right. Go ahead. Finish the thought.
That like on the discussion of potential was like everyone has gifts. Like there are some things that like from a young age like you can have that, but it's up to us to cultivate those gifts over time. And how well we do that or don't do that. Like you can be lazy. You can be given the greatest gift on this entire planet, whether it be for, variety of different things. And if you choose to cultivate it,
One of the things that's just true about Western civilization, and this is not necessarily fair and it's different, but it's just true, that we all have opportunities. And some of us have more opportunities than others, but we all have opportunities. And we're either gonna have done the work to be prepared to execute, or we're not. And so I don't know, and that's just different for each one of us, but we all have opportunities. And if you know who you are, you create some identity, and you understand some of that about yourself, then when opportunities arrive, you're ready. And you can grow. And if you're not, then really you're caught in momentum or emotion or so I don't know. I mean, there's bunches of different ways to look at that, but I like what you had to say. I think it's important. You got to know who you are first. I think we should talk about real quick too, while we have the opportunity, that the Bible app YouVersion.
Yep. Did a podcast.
Yeah, you did a podcast that rolls out tonight. Actually, I don't know when folks will be getting this, and then there's actually you go to YouVersion. It's called oh my God, what's it called? Powered by, I can't even say it. Hold on, I got to get it right.
The title. Yeah.
The title of the app, so people could go in there and look at it.
It's YouVersion Bible app.
YouVersion Bible app. Put in Rich Froning's name. Let's find it real quick. This is our podcast, so we can do whatever we want. The podcast is a conversation with Rich Froning, and it's called Powered by Scripture. But you do a really good job of talking about just this. You're talking about who you are, what you believe, how you're measuring success in your life, what that means on a daily basis. And I think if people kind of want to know how you think about it, that's a good opportunity for them to do that.
When is that? A couple weeks that comes out, right?
Yeah, it'll be out. Well, it'll be out next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. That's a wrap. Episode 75. CrossFitMayhem.com. MayhemMindset.com.
Yeah, course is open.
Course is open.
Course is open. People go and
Sign up.
Check
Do
it out.
exactly what we were just talking about.
Yeah, a way to define yourself.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bison hopefully coming in this next week or two.
It's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
There's a bunch of cool things going on with Froning Farms right now.
Yeah.
New pieces of equipment showing up.
All kinds of
All
stuff.
kinds of stuff.
All kinds of
That's
stuff.
awesome.
Animals. Live things to
Yay.
kill and eat.
I can't wait to take care of them and make them my friends.
Watch videos of people trying to make buffalo their friends or bison their friends. All right, RP Strength, Trifecta, check those guys out. Check the new RP Strength app out. The That scanner is pretty cool. So check it out. Peace.